We Talk is a production of BFAC On Air.
Welcome back, everyone, to We Talk.
We Talk.
Oh, you do that so well.
I sing everything, apparently.
You do sing a lot.
I know.
You know, that's okay. Today, we talk to the cast of 42nd Street.
Yes.
Which, the Batavia High School version of 42nd Street at the Batavia Fine Arts Center. But you should be on stage.
I really want to be on stage.
Yeah.
And it is my goal literally every year to be on stage.
Well, I remember last year you told me you were going to be in Joseph.
Yeah. Oh, you remember.
Of course I remember.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Because I forgot to prepare for my audition. So then I didn't audition.
I just hit the microphone.
Yeah, but it's going to happen one of these days, and then I'll tell everybody about it.
You could just go to the audition and go, We Talk.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, wow, that's the best thing I've ever heard. Please be a part of our show. Please be the lead. Thank you very much.
And cast.
And, yep. So I'm going to tell you what was interesting about this episode is that I also got to talk to Dominic. Now, Dominic and I usually are talking to the people, but Dominic got to be a part of like the people that we're interviewing this time because you're the director of this show.
Because I am the director of the show.
Yeah.
It was nice to be a guest.
Was it nice?
It was nice.
You could sit back a little bit.
Sit back. I put my feet up on the table.
I know, he got real relaxed.
I made funny faces.
He did make funny faces. This is true. But yeah, so we got to talk to Dominic, Josue, Chloe, and Rachel, who are all part of the cast. It's a big cast.
It is a big cast.
And we can't fit them all in the studio. So we just talked to a few of them.
I guess we need a studio expansion.
Yeah. But it was great hearing just what's going on with the show, the like behind the scenes and just the work that even like went into it and just like what it's all about.
It's one of those shows, great old Broadway show.
Yeah.
Lots of tapping, great songs, great tap dancing. You're going to smile through the show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also about humans, human beings who are struggling. And they need each other. They need a strong leader. They need change.
Yeah. It's really timeless in that even though it's set back in the 30s, it really can reach you no matter where you're at.
And I think that is the sign of a really good piece of art.
Yeah.
Is if it not only can stand within the time period it's set and the time period it was released in, but it can also stand 90 years later.
Right. Which, isn't it insane that it's been 90 years since the movie debuted?
Yeah. And then 41 years since the original Broadway musical.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it still can stand on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
And resonate with everybody.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will. And I think it'll push the people who come to see it. It'll push them out the door.
Dancing, first of all.
First of all, dancing. Dancing, and it'll push them to their community.
Yeah.
So shine a light on that importance.
Well, I'm really excited to see it. I cannot wait.
November 3rd through the 5th.
Yeah.
November 3 through 5. But let's just get right on to the episode.
Yep.
But if you want to come and meet those dancing feet, you can get your tickets at BataviaFineArtsCenter.org. That's center spelled CENTRE because we're fancy like that. Or you can call the box office 630-937-8930. Thank you for joining us as we talk to the cast of 42nd Street.
Okay, so can you tell me your names and what role you play in the show?
I am Rachel Blahnik, and I play Anytime Annie.
Mm-hmm. I'm Chloe Nelson, and I play Andy Lee.
And I'm Josue Rivera, and I play Billy Lawler.
Awesome. Can you tell me your role, sir? Person I don't know.
My name is Dominic.
Hey.
Hey, yo. I'm the director.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the director.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like to talk to you, but then I also do other things besides that.
You do a lot of things. All the things.
A few.
A few.
Jack of all trades.
You know, it's me.
So when I went to college, I had a costume designer. My teacher, my costume designer teacher, she used to be on Broadway. She worked on Beauty and the Beast and Cyrano de Bergerac, the musical. And she always used to say, Jack of all trades, master of none. I don't like that trait. I don't like that phrase.
I don't either, because I feel like I'm a jack of all trades. And I'm like, am I good at anything?
Yes, you are.
You're great at everything.
Oh,
All
thanks.
the things
So
you're
true.
great at.
Well, let's just keep talking about me.
Uh-huh.
No, just kidding.
We talk about Jennifer
We talk
Carpenter.
about Jennifer Carpenter all day, all night. Okay, so can one of you or all of you tell me what's a quick blurb about the show without giving away any spoilers? Like, don't tell me how it ends, right? What is the show about?
Yeah.
So the show is set in the Great Depression, and
1933, to be
correct.
exact.
Thank you, Chloe.
You're welcome.
And a very famous director announces he's doing a show, and we all get super excited because we're gonna have jobs again. We're not gonna go
Yeah.
hungry anymore. So we all audition for the show. We get in, and there's this one girl. Her name's Peggy Sawyer.
Yeah.
Super talented, but she doesn't show up to auditions because she was too scared. But her talent overshadows that, and she ends up getting into the show as a chorus girl. And opening night, she breaks the lead's ankle. And there you go.
Yeah.
So
Like,
Oh, Sway, you're not
with a
supposed to
pipe?
give
was
anything
a
away.
spoiler.
That was a spoiler a little bit.
no, guys, because
What I will
Now,
say is I
what's-
think people might know the plot.
Yeah,
before
perhaps.
Second
but then
Street.
what's gonna happen to the show?
That's
Now.
true.
Will it be saved? Will it not?
Are we gonna go hungry?
Probably.
So many possibilities.
You have to stay it to Act 2 to find out.
Yeah, that's true. Do not leave after Act 1.
You
Yeah.
might think
You
that
might-
you should, but
You
you,
might
shouldn't.
think the show is over because
because the lead broke her
You're like,
ankle.
oh, it's
Are
over.
you-
and
What can we do?
there's a person who comes on stage and basically says, "Everyone go home. We'll refund your ticket."
But that's a lie.
Don't,
It's
we're not
acting.
refunding.
Will there
We're
be
not
people
refunding
standing
your
at the door to
tickets.
make sure that people don't leave?
Maybe we should have people hold signs that say,
That was
"The
a
show
joke.
is not
Just
really
kidding.
over."
That was a bit, guys.
Just joking.
That's a good. Here's what you need to know when you come to
Yeah,
the show.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not over. Stay after intermission.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned it's set around 1933.
Yeah.
Which is when the original movie was actually filmed and
Yes.
released, right? It was 1933. So my question for you all is, like, this 42nd Street, the story of it has been around for almost 90 years,
Wow.
which is
That's crazy.
crazy,
That is
right?
crazy.
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, almost 90 years. So how is the production of it how is this production bringing something new? Like, what makes it relevant still to today's world 90 years later?
Yeah.
Well, I can talk a little bit about that. I think what's really interesting about this show is that it's happening right now. And, you know, we are kind of coming out of our own depression. Not literally, but a lot of trying things have been happening in the world recently. I mean, like COVID, and our economy has been like going through tribulations and trials, and you know, there's many things going on that are tricky, but this show is really about community and coming together in spite of whatever circumstances are holding down your community. And so this show is like indirectly inspiring everyone to have faith in their community to overcome anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier, and how through COVID, the arts had to overcome an obstacle or a roadblock that was set in the way. And in this show, this cast is having to do the same thing. It feels like it's the only show running on Broadway at the moment, and they're just trying to bring Broadway back. And I feel like that's what a lot of companies were trying to do right as theater started opening up again, back in 2020, 2021. Even 2022.
Yes.
So that's something I was thinking about earlier, and how crazy similar it is.
What you just said, the thing that I find really interesting about it is so the show within a show. So it's a show about people doing a show, right?
Right.
But the show within a show, they're experiencing that difficulty and that drive to get out of their routine or their rut. And then the show, 42nd Street, is the same thing. It's these people trying to claw their way back to their lives and regain who they know they are on the inside. And in our real lives right now, we are trying to maintain or claw or come back from the pandemic or hold on to what we've got to through these inflationary times. So it's like this 3-layer dip almost.
3-layer dip.
You got the show within the show, and then how we're experiencing those same things in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like also through the show, it kind of just shows that even if you don't like a person, it doesn't matter. You're going to lean on each other and you're going to get through it because Rachel's character in the first scene, she's not the most liked by everyone, but in the end, that
Rachel,
doesn't
how
matter.
could you?
I know, right?
That is the
rude.
opposite of typecasting. If I can say
Yes.
that with
Sweetest
Rachel.
girl in the world.
Literally.
I have a playlist that I like to listen to before I start a run or like even before like character work days to like help me get in the zone that is not Rachel, that is Annie.
Yeah.
It's just like really strange because it's so different than like what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
But yeah, it just doesn't matter. You lean on each other because you need each other to get through it.
It's totally true because Peggy does. Peggy needs you, right? Peggy needs you. And for those of you who are not watching me point at people, I guess I should be more specific. Peggy needs Billy and Peggy needs Annie. And at the very end even, Peggy needs Dorothy as well to give her that permission to be the star that she is inside of herself. So
I'm glad she doesn't need me.
yeah.
I got to take the day off.
No, she needs you too.
Thank you.
Thank
I think
goodness.
the
I ain't got
community's
time for that.
all intertwined.
I ain't got
with
time for
each
this
other.
community. I need the rest. I love it. So one thing you kind of talked about was like those blurred lines of reality of like, okay, this is a play within a play. So what are some things, I know you guys have done a couple of things within the show to kind of show like your character, right? Or there's a couple of characters that are characters, but also
Hold real life.
thing. Can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit about that?
So my character, Andy Lee, is the dance director and the choreographer of the show within the show. But IRL, I'm I'm dance captain, so I help the cast with choreography and making sure our spacing is clean, which is just what Andy Lee would do, which is really fun.
And then one of our stage managers also plays the role of the stage manager in the show as well. Because for me, it was important to show people that, this is art, right? This is a show. You're watching it, but it's also real at the same time. And so if these characters are mirrored in the show and in real life, then so are the themes and the element of community. And so that mirror of the importance of community must then also be as equally important in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
You should watch them do things on stage. It's even better than conceptually speaking about it.
So I can't. So Chloe, do you ever find where it's like where you feel like in that role where you're just like, oh, I'm not actually doing my role. I'm just being me right now? Or does it feel like, I feel like this character, or does it feel more like I'm Chloe doing my thing?
Well, it's funny you ask because one time during a run, I did accidentally call out a count. Because I was just like, oh, yes, this is rehearsal. Because in the scene, we were in rehearsal. So I was like, okay, let's remember to go down on this count. And so I yelled it out and I was like, that was not in character. That was me being Chloe. So yes, it does happen. I promise I won't do that at the show, though.
It's very meta. Like there's a very meta part of this show that I feel like works for what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have some random questions as well. We could talk about some other things. You kind of touched on this a little bit, where Who do you feel like is the least like their character?
Ooh.
Maybe Rachel.
Yeah.
I would say Rachel or Gemma.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, Gemma's character is very stuck up and, like, just rude.
Gemma plays Dorothy, who is the lead whose ankle gets broken.
Yes.
And she's sort of a diva.
Yeah,
She's
she's a very
the
rich lady.
stereotypical star. you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
And Gemma's just not like that.
Mhm.
Gemma's a nice girl.
But deep
Nice
down, she's stereotypical star. But once you get to know her, you see all the things she's
Yeah.
been pushing away from
Right.
her because she felt she had to be a certain way.
Hmm.
And it's not until the end that she says, "No, I can have what I want."
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, and who do you feel is most like their character?
Josue's a tenor,
That's
and his character's a tenor.
That's true.
I thought for
This
a
is
second you were
true.
going to say Ryan Anderson.
Well, that's accurate too. Ryan
That
is our
is-
stage manager, and that's accurate.
There's a point in a certain scene where he needs to like yell for everyone to be quiet, and he adores that scene so much.
It's probably
He-
his favorite line
it
in the whole
is.
show.
Every time he walks off the stage, he just like has a huge smile on his face just because of how much he loves to just like yell.
And it's like the button of a song. There's like all
Yeah.
this
Yes.
music and chaos going on, and then everything cuts out, and it's just him.
He's a little-
Screaming.
he's the secret star.
I always think
I
I'm
thought
like,
you were going to say he's
should-
the secret sauce.
He's the secret sauce of the
Ryan's the
show.
secret sauce of the show.
and he's doing the tango.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, boy.
gosh. Now, you just mentioned songs, right? And what you were just saying. There are a lot of iconic songs.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I didn't even
My
realize
dad-
how many iconic ones
Yeah,
there were.
I was singing "We're in the Money," which is in the show, and my dad was like, "That's in the show? It is."
Yes.
Yes, my dad too, which like farthest thing from anything interested in musical theater. And he was like, I know Lullaby of Broadway. I was
Aw.
like, what?
Yeah.
That's
So, and
cute.
most of the songs are not from the original 1930s
33.
movie.
Yeah.
I think there's only 3 from the
That are from
movie.
there.
The rest are from the original Broadway version of the show, and
Which is from
1980
the 80s,
something.
right?
1981.
Yeah.
Everyone I say that to cannot believe that it debuted on Broadway in 1981. That was
Did
the,
they think it was before that?
like
That's
in
what I
the
did too.
30s or 40s.
Yeah.
That's what they think. Yeah.
That's what I thought as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. What are so of those songs? Do you have what's your favorite?
Oh my gosh.
It's hard to pick. Our favorite to perform, or just our favorite song?
You know what? Let's start with your favorite to perform.
Okay, I have 2.
Okay.
It is a tie between the 2. It's either Lullaby of Broadway
Mhm.
or oh shoot, I am blanking. We're in the Money.
Okay.
Those two are
Yeah.
just some of my favorites. I love the tap dancing in We're in the Money. And then in Lullaby of Broadway, it's a song where the cast of Pretty Lady, the show within 42nd Street, the cast is trying to get Peggy to do the show with them. And so they're just like pleading with her and begging with her and like putting on this grand performance for her. And I love performing for people. So that is like my time where I can just like be over the top and like have the best time on stage. And just the music is super fun too.
Now, I just want to say I'm surprised you didn't say go into your dance.
Oh
quite
my goodness,
honestly.
I
I forgot
Because
about that one. That one is also my
There
favorite.
is a section where Rachel's legs
Oh my god!
move so fast.
Speed of lightning.
I'm always beaming
I
off
don't
stage,
understand how it's physiologically possible
and then she sings like amazingly,
For
like
her-
2 seconds afterwards.
for her body to move in such a way, at such a speed.
Every time I'm
Beautiful.
sitting there watching the monitor with like the biggest smile on my
Oh,
face.
it's amazing.
Gosh.
It is
One of
very
the
fun. And
best.
as soon I did have to practice a lot to get that part down, but as soon as I got it down like in my garage, I was so excited.
So good.
Because I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to do that section. So I had substitute choreography instead, but I was so determined. I was like, I'm getting those steps down. And I did. And I was so excited. So yeah, that is another one of my
Something.
favorites.
It's
That's
something.
cool. I do want to come back to the dancing too. I'm curious about some things, but I want to hear what are your favorites to perform.
Okay, I will. So I had forgotten also about going to your dance. I just come in at the end of that one, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But I was going to say either We're in the Money,
Mhm.
because if you've never seen this number, we dance on like big giant dimes. It's very, very fun.
Mhm.
But also the audition, the opening number.
I love that one.
It's iconic choreography, and it's very, very fun because I get to sort of be in charge, and it's I just love it. It's amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. So for me, I would also say Lullaby on Broadway, because it's just so happy, and every time we perform it, like my heart is like so full.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
agree.
It's so like fulfilling on
That
a real
is-
level.
Well, that's the epitome of community, that
Mhm.
song.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
And then my second one would be Dames, just because the guys
Yeah,
have like
that's
this
such a
fun
cute
little
dapper
part,
suits.
and I just love the guys. We have canes and top hats, and it's so
Yes.
fun.
And you can't go
Yes.
wrong with a cane and a top
You
hat.
really
You
can't.
cannot go
can't.
wrong. Like if all of the guys out there, if you can please just walk around with canes and top hats all the time, like that'd be
All the
amazing.
time.
So
That'd be so
when
fun.
I was I think I was like a freshman in high school or something like that. I all I wanted for Christmas this one year was a cane. a walking stick cane, like
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh.
dance with, and I got one.
Did you?
Did you have
love
a
it?
purpose for said cane?
No, it was
Of course not.
no.
That's the most
I
Katara
just
thing that's ever
wanted
come out of your
one of
mouth.
those canes.
Do you
Oh
still
my
have it?
gosh.
No, we went on vacation
no.
after right after Christmas that year, and I left it on the airplane
No.
That's
on
so
the way
sad.
home.
Wait, how
So
old
why
were you?
did you bring it on vacation?
Because he wanted that
You were in
cane.
high. Wait, this
freshman
was
year
you
of
were
high school.
Freshman.
Oh, it was high school.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my word, that is
Oh,
amazing.
goodness.
That is so funny.
That's me.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna go home. There's like canes in our house because, my parents. Right? But I'm totally gonna take them and start dancing with them. Like, why haven't I been doing this sooner? Right? That's amazing. Okay, if you're not watching this podcast, like if you're not watching the video, you should definitely watch it just for
You
Dominic's
should.
face that he just did.
It's
That was
worth it.
beautiful. It's definitely worth it. Okay, so speaking of the dancing,
Yeah.
42nd Street has a little bit,
Lot of
just
dancing.
Just a bit.
little bit of turf
Yeah,
dancing,
just
a little bit of dancing,
Not
right?
much.
So so many questions about the dancing. Let's condense it a little bit. Tell me, have you always are you guys dancers? Like, do you see yourself before the show as a dancer? How has tap dancing played into that? Like, how long have you been dancing, and how has that impacted you in this show? Lots of questions.
I would like to start
Okay.
because I have always been a dancer. I've always danced, but I had never taken a tap lesson before this June. And so I remember going into the show, it was really daunting because it's like I've always seen myself as a dancer. I was very excited to have a dance show as my senior show, but I had never tapped a step. So it was very new. And now, it's insane how quickly this cast has picked it up.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
It's so impressive.
It's
Yeah.
It is insane. There's no other word for.
We
Yeah.
did a number in our spring show last year that we tapped, and I didn't do a single step correctly how you should be making the sounds.
Me as
And
well.
now looking back on it, absolutely I could do that. I could it would be so easy and so different of an experience.
Yeah.
Yes, Kyle used to throw out words, and we were like,
What does that mean?
We don't know
But
what
now
that
we
step
know.
means. But yeah.
And we do it in heels.
Yeah, so true.
Nice.
Not me. I'm excluded from that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Before this show, I saw myself as someone who could dance well. I never have seen myself as a dancer because I've never actually committed to just dancing. It's always show dancing, like show choir or musicals.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like I could consider myself at least a tap dancer after this show.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
When you
Jose.
get up on that big dime.
Yeah.
Jose also,
That-
during one of our choreography days, our choreographer Kyle goes, "Can you do a toe touch?" And he goes, "I
Oh
don't know,
my
let's
gosh.
see," and does a toe touch.
What?
So there's a toe touch in the show that he can just do on a whim.
I saw that happen
Yes.
and I was like, ooh, toe touches are really, really hard because I used to be on a dance team where I had to do toe touches and they were the hardest things I've ever done. And then Josue just goes straight
Knocks
up
it
into
out.
the air and I'm in awe of him.
So
it was
impressive.
crazy.
Oh.
Everyone asks for my stretching routine because apparently I'm very flexible. My stretching routine consists of me getting out of bed and driving to school. So
I need
it
to
is
try that.
non-existent.
I do one sit up a day. I wake up in the morning. I lay down at night.
Stretch.
Correct.
That's amazing. Okay, Rachel.
I am very similar to Chloe. I have danced since I was probably 3.
We danced together.
Yes, we actually, fun
Aw.
fact
Yes,
about
you
us, we
did.
danced at the same studio when we were younger, and that's how we've known each other for a really
And
long time.
you performed on this stage here.
We
Yes.
not
When
maybe
you
not
were-
together.
when-
I don't know if we did
I'm
together.
not sure, but I
but
have
when you
bef-
were
Yes.
before when I
real
was
little
like,
children.
probably 6. I was actually left at the BFAC one time. My parents
Oh.
didn't know where I was.
Oh, Rachel.
That's a story for another time. But I have tapped before actually. I've taken 2 tap classes that were probably a year or a semester long.
Mhm.
And then I've tapped in I think 3 other shows. But nothing to this extent. Like, this was definitely very challenging. Even the audition was challenging.
Yeah.
When I was trying to learn the audition, I was like, I have no clue how I'm going to get this. But seriously, with all the practice that we've been doing,
Right.
whether that's at rehearsal or at home, it has totally helped. And like, we as a cast, I feel like, are very tight. And I think that's so crazy how we've had such a short amount of time and we're
Yeah.
able to do those dances and know those terms. And it's just been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it.
Looking back on it now, too, the audition seems like easy.
Yeah.
Like those steps that we struggled with for a week now are just in choreography and we just
Right.
pull
Right.
it out. Like, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, I'm super excited. I
Yeah.
actually have one more thing, and then one more thing for you guys to do, and then we can end it out. But I want you to call someone out by name who must come see this production.
Oh.
Ooh.
Can it count if I know that they're already coming or no?
You decide.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the person I'm calling out is Morgan O'Brien.
Yes.
Yes,
Because
Morgan.
she
Yeah.
was the one that got a lot of us here. Because this summer she
Taught tap lessons
taught
for us
tap
for
lessons
free.
for free
Wow.
here at the BFAC along with Serafina Tassi. So they come as a package deal.
There you go.
But they are great, and I don't know if either of them are able
I
to
think
make
Serafina
it.
is
But
coming
they,
soon. I think
Serafina
Morgan
is.
is.
I'm demanding Morgan, don't go to
We
whatever
demand.
sorority thing you're going to. Come to see 42nd Street at the Batavia Fine Arts Center.
Love it.
I'm calling out Bill McLean, who is my middle school director. I don't know if he's coming,
And
but he should.
the person who stood next to me in choir when I
At
was
this
in
very
high
school.
school.
Wow.
So he should be here because he is the one who, like, I started theater, not necessarily because of him, but my first shows were with him, and I fell in love with theater with him as my director. So he better be here.
I'm
Better.
calling out my Aunt Tracy. If you're somehow listening to this, I expect to see you
Well,
here.
she better.
Yeah,
be.
and
Yeah,
Tracy.
she was a tap dancer when she was younger. Like, she
Oh.
loved
Cute.
tap.
Aw.
So I'm not sure if she's coming. I really hope she is. If she's coming, it'll be from out of town, but I really hope she'll come.
All those people got to come.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
Yep.
those people got
What
to
about
come.
you? You want to call somebody out?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, so I personally think I'm gonna diverge
Okay.
from your
Of course he
intended
is.
question.
This is-
Oh
yeah.
boy, is it going to be everyone?
It is.
I felt that coming.
It's
Me
going
too.
to be everyone because you look at the show and maybe you think 42nd Street. Oh, a nice old show. Okay, I'm going to go. Maybe you think, oh, 42nd Street, it's an old show. I'm not going to go. But it's for everyone. Whether you love the old shows or they're just okay to you, this one is very time relevant to what we are doing today. And it will not only make you smile and have a great time, and I think and hope love humanity, it will also make you, I hope, think about what your role is in the community, how you can help the community, and how the community can help you, and how they're kind of a package deal. So whether you just love old musicals and you don't want to think about a thing, it's for you. If you need art to be that thing that helps push you and inspire you, it's got that too. So that's how it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Or if you have no expectations of this show and you want to be blown away,
That's true too.
So
and you
true.
want to have a great night.
Yeah.
I mean, because
We
I'll
can
be
make
honest,
that
we
night
do
great.
shows like no one else does
VHS
shows.
musicals are
It's
just
true.
something else.
It
We're
is
not a
something
regular
else.
high school show.
Yeah, and if you know what, if you're somebody who has not ever come out to see a Batavia High School show, like seriously, you should come
It's
out.
time. It's
Yeah.
time to
It's been
start
long
that.
enough.
Don't you think it's been about time? Everybody, where's the camera?
We
know
Don't
you've
you
heard
think?
about
Don't
it.
you think it's been long
We
enough?
know
It's
you've
been long
heard.
enough.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming. I love you all. Also, I fangirl after you all the time.
We fangirl after you.
Yeah,
so true.
So come see 42nd Street happening at the Batavia Fine Arts Center, November 3rd through the 5th.
That's right. 3rd and 4th are at 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
5th is at 2 p.m.
Perfect. You can still get tickets. Can
Yeah.
you tell us how we can get
Yes,
tickets?
you can go to BataviaFineArtsCenter.org. That's center spelled CENTRE.
Because we're fancy.
Right. Or you can also call the box office, 630-937-8930.
Perfect. All right. And that's all for us. So thank you all for coming. And
Thank
been a
you.
blast.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening while we talked to the cast of 42nd Street.
We Talk is a production of BFAC On Air.